I'd like to do an introduction to the rich man and Lazarus. The reason I'm doing these is because I'm trying to get out of the way all the objections that many religious people have towards money, thinking that it's bad. We already covered the love of money and how Paul writes to rich people in that same chapter where he talks about the love of money. And he says, don't trust in riches. It's not that riches are bad, but don't trust in them as your source. In this next story, we're going to talk about the rich man and Jesus, and how many people will say that this story talks about how wealth is bad. That is not actually the case. Jesus is offering this rich man an investment, probably the best investment he ever had. And in that investment, he was blind to it. The reason he was blind to it is because he was trusting in his wealth. And that was his identity, the rich man. We know Peter's name, we know John's name, we know Andrew's name. We don't know this rich man's name, and Jesus was giving this rich man an opportunity to become one of the disciples. And when Jesus tells him to sell everything, he says, you lack one thing. By the way, before he says this, Jesus looks at him and loves him. And he says to him, one thing you lack, and that is sell everything and come follow me. And then you will have treasures in heaven. When Jesus tells you you're going to have treasures in heaven, you can take it to the bank. So it was an investment. It was an opportunity. The rich man could not do it. He went away sad because he had great wealth, and that is what he was trusting in. Whereas Peter, when Jesus asked him to follow him, he left everything because he knew that Jesus was the source for everything. And Jesus then made Peter not just a fisherman, but the fisherman, a fisher of men. Probably the most successful fisherman that ever lived. Actually, he was. So we're going to get into that story next. I was just giving an introduction, and I hope to see you in the next video.